hear anything. Can you wait? Can you guys hear me now? I'm not sure it works. Does it work? Um. All right. So we'll just assume that. Wait. Let me just actually check the sound. It just looks weird. Um. Yeah. Apparently. All right. Apparently we're live. Cool. So great to be back on this Saturday. Yesterday we've announced the 100K to a million challenge. We I'm not sure exactly when this is gonna start. I think this is gonna start roughly in the next week or two. And I'm not sure exactly. Ideally, we do it on the app, and then we have. So we do it on the prop firm, and then because the live execution on Hyperliquid is not gonna be ready day one, we might just do it on an Hyperliquid address. But it's gonna be a long journey though. It's not like I don't want to do the degenerate, but I think if we enter a new type of cycle, a new phase in the market, I do think over a year or a year and a half, you compound and obviously do things right. I think it's doable. Pretty confident. So a couple of things I've built, and we'll discuss not just about Backtester, which is releasing tomorrow, but also other apps. But as I said, we start with a bit of a market overview. Although for this format, like doing market overviews on weekends, I don't really like it. But I usually so we have the CME gaps usually. And this is going to end, by the way, in May. And since we have the ETFs, I treat every weekend as complete noise. So usually I like to fade extremes during the weekend. So if I see an up move on an asset, I think just like last weekend, on the Discord I did mention we went short, and usually it mean reverts on weekends, and I think that's because the main players now and the main flows are through the ETFs, and so you can generally just fade weekend price action, especially as we are in the downtrend at the moment. So I took a position on Hyperliquid, and yeah, that's the position we're short. So that is my public address that I did share, but we will perhaps use a different address. But just want to show the live positioning. I'm doing it on Hyperliquid on a very small account. I mean, I literally have 10K on this account. But this is my public address, so it's the only address I'm comfortable sharing, and I think we can start potentially 100K on this one or somewhere else. So I did enter short on Hype, but like what I want to say is you're basically shorting after 50% drop on majors, so you shouldn't be. You shouldn't. I guess the risk reward of going long is much better, but I think to me it all depends on the time frame, and that's why the Hype short is paired with an ETH long. I'm short Hype because my view is that we enter chop. Because crypto just went down a bit too much, 50%. I don't think you can recover from this quickly. So I think the best you can hope for is a counter trend rally, and you also have equities are a bit shaky. You have the conflicts between the U.S. and Iran, and you have the tariff ruling, and so you have to. I think you have to be open-minded to a long, but the test is specifically on hype is. I mean, I love hype. I think this is one of the only. I mean, everything that we build is on Hyperliquid. But if I take a trader mindset, I don't really care about the. I guess so much about the asset, and I think it's just expressing a view on the market. But why hype specifically is because one, it's an asset that's really over-owned, and if the thesis is true that okay, it's a bear market. Hype's got a lot more downside than being down 50% from the highs. And the more fundamental reason is the open interest is dropping. I'm actually not sure Hyperliquid open interest if Hyperdash is, I'm pretty sure I can find this on stats here, but open interest is dropping. If I take a quarter view, so yeah, open interest is dropping, and basically the uptick that we saw in price action was led by DATs, by the hyper DATs, and so it's not. I think to me, it's been front run quite a lot, and I think the timeline's just been pushed forward quite a bit. And I think this remains one of the best short out there. If you're the view that this lead up, I think you eventually have a breakdown over time, like over the next 6 months. So I like hype as a short. It's also you have a lot of catalysts on hype that are priced in, like portfolio margin is gonna be released on the next upgrade. As I said, you have the big DATs. It's really over-owned. It's one of the most loved assets in crypto. And the issue with the other altcoins is they really beat down, and you can get squeezed so hard on Pepe, for example. You would take a 40% drawdown. Obviously, you would have stop loss in place. But my view at the moment is I'm entering this on a weekend, but as it stands, more for low time frame view, and the stop would be. That's basically the stop I have in mind here is something like this. I think something like this and. Close to this, that's pretty much the trade that I want to take, and it's this is very hedged with an ETH long that's overweight. Anyway, enough said. But as I said, like all weekends, price action during weekends is most nice, but that's where you have mean reversion trades, and those are you can take a few percent here and there. But I shared my more medium time frame or long time frame view is you need a catalyst for crypto to move up, more substantially than just a trend, counter trend rally. But objectively, risk reward of going long is much better. BTC can go short to 50K, but if you take a longer term view, you can't really be short crypto, I think. On the prop firm specifically, a couple of things happened. We did announce, I believe, it's not voted yet. There is if you're part of the Expo community, you might have heard of this, but we're spinning up a token specifically for this product, and we're raising a seed round. So because it's not acted yet, we haven't pushed it so far, but I think on the stream we'll try and monitor this because that's part of this series. This series is specifically we're aiming at doing 10 million in revenue, and I basically won't end the streams until either like hitting this, or basically as like as basically these dies. That's essentially what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be pushing this through basically till the end. And you have to face the reality that crypto and startups are inherently super risky. Not going to go into the proper pitch and stuff. I think this is irrelevant for today, but we. So that means we'll talk a bit about growth here, on how I'm scaling Backtester and Proper, because I'm vibe coding a bunch of this. But for example, we do have an affiliate program. You have to understand that prop firms scale through, and like it's reality for most of the crypto, well, not crypto, sorry, but consumer apps. We are a consumer business. You scale through influencers, and an affiliate program is very well known to the scaling of some crypto platforms. Bybit, for example, in 2021 was very well known on this. Swissborg to some degree as well. And so we're building this affiliate program, and I've created the backend for this on the main Proper solution, so on the platform. But you have the ability now to apply if you're an affiliate, and you have the possibility to get a couple of rewards, like 50, like some kickback on the revenues that we make through the challenge accounts, in the order between 10% to 20%. So as someone signs up for $200 worth, we'd get $30 as the affiliate. And you will not only get this, but also get the eventual hyperliquid airdrop, which is very speculative, but part of that will go to the affiliate. And you also be entitled to an airdrop in the Proper token. Now, we have to solve for, one is like, people don't know about us, and realistically, prop firms been really hurt by the previous actors that just lack transparency, and that's exactly, we're going at the opposite end of the spectrum by enabling full transparency, and that's why we build on the hyperliquid stack. So this is basically going to help us scale. And one thing I wanted to do is understand, okay, how can we, so first is like, obviously we've got greater plans than just crypto for this solution, but you have to start somewhere, and you have to, especially today with the crypto reputation, we can't really just go to Web2 and say, hey, we're building these prop firms. To me, you need to have the credentials for it, and to me it's going to take 2 quarters, realistically, potentially more, to just build this. You want to get 1,000 traders on the platform, and they all just vouch for you. They've seen the payouts and trust you. At Xborg, we've done this with esports teams, and when you're a new player, it's super hard to get respected. So for us, it was a tough fight to get the first teams on board, like the first team actually, and then it's a ripple effect. And same, if we show how good we do things, how good the platform is, and obviously it has to be, otherwise the business is unfunded, then we go out to Web2 businesses. And so the point is, okay, let's look at how can we isolate Web3 traders, and how can I target them. So there are a couple of ways to do this in an automated way. Like you've got marketing tools that would tell you which trader is, or like you could even use the X API, but because I follow quite a few traders, I wanted to build my own solution so that as I get on my X feed, I've built this extension essentially, which is called it the prospect collector. Not sure how I called it, but the point is as I see people that I think are relevant and that I think could be affiliated to the platform, I've built the ability to just add them and then have someone from my team or just myself reach out to them, just discuss about the platform that we build, whether they can test the platform, etc. Obviously, I don't expect to get good feedback. We were new and we'll face tons of rejections realistically, but we'll push through and we'll try very hard. So stuff like this, for example, LA Cryptoman could be a nice person to add on the list, and then you can just save on prospect, save, and then on our side on Proper we've got a backend, so where we then can check the list and check to which prop firm they're affiliated with. Obviously, what I can do is if I don't know if I want to check for Hyro Trader.com, which is a crypto prop firm, and I want to check with whom they've partnered. You see here we've got the tag added, but that was just I would say quick exploration for today on the marketing side and how we can effectively use. So I don't like to doom scroll, but I sort of have to do it here. But for example, this person that mentioned, I use Hyro Trader, and then if they're part of a prop firm, and then we can entice them to join because of how better the product is and how trustworthy we are. And then obviously, if we were to launch a token, that gives an unfair advantage. And crypto is very quiet at the moment. And that's where I think it's just best to build. Other cool thing that we've added is, so by the way, if you're like a KOL or like someone that has a trading community and want to be part of this, we've got this founding affiliate program where you can get part of the 50 spots that get in. We've added a page on the Proper token. I don't want the streams to end up in oversharing the stuff, but I think if you're interested, you can just go and check out Proper token on the website. We will, I'm in the process of updating the trading rules. Trading rules being here today. But what we do enforce is we do enforce utmost transparency on how we change rules. Because rules are going to change as we adapt the business, but there will be a change log. So tomorrow you should see a change log. If not tomorrow, that's Monday because backtester is being released. I have to say it's quite a busy days these days. A couple of things, as you might see, like the blog post, for example, I'm in the blog section. So as you understand, we're just getting the whole thing ready for launch, and you want to be making sure we're on par with. If someone checks us out, okay, it just makes sense. It's complete. And cool thing that we've added is transparency, and we've added. So by the way, great to see 104 waitlist signups. So these are people that are interested in using the product. I believe we will do an early sale of challenge accounts as soon as we lock in the trading rules and as soon as we launch the paper trading engine. So to celebrate the launch, there will be a pretty large trading competition, and we will invite some folks from our community to QA the product. The product being the trading terminal, so that community is involved, and as soon as we are confident with that, let's say 100 people can use the platform concurrently, that things just work well, then we will do this training competition. We're targeting about 2K people to join. Prize pool will be announced in due course. it's going to be a blend between actual cash and some free accounts, but this is going to be building up our credibility. And this is, by the way, the main product that we're working towards. So when we say 10 million of revenue, I think majority is going to come through this. We actually do have, revenue projections, and those revenue projections are, you can check on the docs what assumptions that we're taking. So transparency has not much, I have to say, like waitlist growth. You can see just how it evolved over time. Seed round interest, same stuff. Discord member, same stuff. And newsletter, we've just created. I've created it also today, but this is we'll send out some content to people that want. So I'm back at Rothschild's. When I was in crypto, I was writing a lot of primers and just discussions on crypto, and discussing about some trading strategies. We will, and it's going to be interesting. Another interesting thing that we've built is this claim functionality. So we want to celebrate that people are early to the product and platform. So we will celebrate some milestones. Every key event, or to us on the roadmap, if you look at every milestone that we hit, we will celebrate it with it's a soul-bound token, and it's an NFT that's not tradable. It's just a proof that you were there and you've attended the events, and these are the things that we use to incentivize people. If you're looking at this video retroactively on YouTube or X, you will there will be ways for you to also claim those things, and that's what we'll use for community engagement. And for this one, you just have to join our Discord, and you have to either be a part of our ecosystem with some XBG tokens, or have some volume on Hypercore. So it's a free thing. You don't have to. You have to link your wallet, sure, but you don't have to sign anything. We sponsor everything, and it's minted on HyperEVM, so you can see the transactions here, and that's limited to 1K people. So today we've only got about 68 people that claim that, and I think on the 100K to 1 million challenge, I think we will give priority to those badge holders, and I think there will be some perks, and we just want to recognize how early someone is to the ecosystem, and just say, hey, we appreciate you being a part of the venture super early. And if you're interested in joining our Discord, you've got all the links on the proper stuff. Like, you can join our Discord and go check it out. It's pretty it's a very small community as it stands, but you'll look back at it in a few weeks, and hopefully it's going to be a bigger community. But absolutely love building this stuff during the bear market. And good to note that everything's you see on Proper, everything is really being vibe coded. As it stands, it's really just myself, and then we've got a lead engineer that's working on the trading terminal. And I tend not to touch anything that's related to the, let's say, order management, so risk management and order execution, like basically the whole trading service, because I'm of the belief that there's certain things that you can't just vibe code, and especially when we talk about actual funds, it's just way too risky. And I'm trying to see if I've missed anything for today. Yeah, just the transparency that we want to showcase. Obviously, we don't have these metrics just now. I think we'll start to get a lot more metrics in about, let's say, 2 weeks, because we'll share the retention stats, we'll share the how many users we've got as soon as we go live with the actual main trading terminal. But our ethos is that you'll be able to see everything. So the revenue breakdown, aggregate equity of paper traders, of live traders, P&L distribution of paper trading, live trading, the evaluation funnel, the payouts, uptime and latency that's on the infrastructure, payout processing time, trader retention, some volume rebates once we go live with the live execution, and some trader leaderboard and rule change. So it's gonna be, we're gonna be building this in the open, and keen to see what's like because no one's doing it, and it's got some risky element to it. But I think as long as you're transparent, then things will work out. You have to be mindful and take the right decisions. I have to say specifically on the trading rules, and but I think as long as you're fair and transparent, which is why I'm saying like we're a fair prop firm, because things will change for traders and traders are not going to like it, but it's something that will be fair. For example, one of the biggest issues with prop firm is what's called anti-farming. So when someone is trying to use a prop firm in a way that abuses the system, and so the way it works, and transparently, I've got nothing to hide on this, it's that someone would create two accounts, and from two different users, and one would go long an asset, the other massively short an asset. And so in times of high volatility, they would always pass the challenge, because only takes just one good trade to pass the challenge. And then the other one would blow up, but at least you pass one, so then you get access to more capital, and then you basically farm on and on. And so there will be very strong systems, and we've actually built this in the core. The core of what we do, but there will be a lot of defense mechanism for that, and we will have to ban all of the accounts that do this stuff. Obviously, they won't be successful at everything, but I believe the system that we built is going to be, first described in, we'll describe some of the rules that we check for in the trading rules to prevent this, but so you'll definitely see some traders try to abuse the system, like that, just farm the ecosystem, and they will be pissed at you, but at the core of what we stand for at the firm is we want to support good traders, and that's the only thing we care about. If you have no edge in the market and you'll just try to abuse our system, you're not being fair to us, and so I don't feel like being fair to you, and it's actually been a lot of work to implement this stuff, and that will be published about, as I said, either depending on how backtester goes, but it's gonna be either tomorrow or the day after, and I can discuss about some of the defense mechanism, but we essentially got a system to look at all patterns throughout the app. So things like the IP, the sessions, the different patterns on different trading accounts. So if we notice that one's going long and short, and they've all, like, they take the similar national and they come from a similar country, similar IP, and then we'll have to monitor those accounts, and because it's actually something that hurts a lot of businesses, And if you don't have correct anti-farming rules, then you'll likely go out of business because it just defeats the purpose. And you don't want to come to a stage where you just enforce KYC when you try and take an evaluation, because then you would face ton of churn. Well, not churn even, because no one's going to sign up. But that's just the reality of the business, really. So enough of me, I guess, just ranting. I'm trying to check if we have anything else to share. So this is going to change, tomorrow, Monday. Same as the leverage. The trading universe isn't going to change, but you'll see the change log regardless. And it's a very small thing. Not even sure mentioning, but we've got this brand book. Just if you ever want to reuse the brand, that's how you do it. And what's staggering is this: all of that is just one-shotted with Cloud Code, so doesn't really take any work to do this stuff. So on that note, I go back grind on Backtester, and I think tomorrow morning we'll likely have like a 3 to 4 hour session just on Backtester, where it's gonna be a boring stream, but we just log the fuck in and we build. We just build, do this final rush, and then we go live. So thanks a lot for watching till the end. Go claim your NFT if you feel like it. Obviously, you don't have to, but claim while you can. And I see you tomorrow.